Cosgrove. I'm the Career and College Admissions Director at Con Lab School, and I'm going to learn how to use this clicker. Okay, so we also are reimagining education like so many other people. Why we exist is that our school was inspired by the vision of Sal Khan, the founder of Con Lab School and Khan Academy, in the book he wrote, The One World Schoolhouse. And kind of along the lines of Gaver's talk, you know, he noticed that education wasn't working, and that with the new tools at everyone's disposal that were free, that were available anywhere, anytime, self-paced, mastery-based learning seemed like a much better paradigm to move into than the old model of the teacher moving students at one pace all together in front of the classroom. So Sal created this lab school, Con Lab School. And why are we a lab school? We're a lab school because we are testing what works in education. We don't have all the answers, but we get data from our own students, from partners like Khan Academy, from our stakeholders, our parents, our students, some of whom are here today. I'm really grateful that 3 of our teens are going to be participating later, and as well as research. And our goal is to see what works in education and eventually share these learnings with the world. We're already doing that in part through some partnerships we have, the One World Schoolhouse Initiative. And we're bringing lots of people into our school, and we're learning from them and continuing to learn from our own students. So why are we in business? We have this mission to develop fully empowered future citizens, and we are pioneering new models that really put the learner at the center of the education experience. So there's some of our learners, and they are always at the center of their own learning experience at our school. So I'm going to show you a lot of pictures and skip over some of my many slides that have maybe more text on them than we have time to get into today, because I think seeing what our students do and who they are helps illustrate the point about the ways in which we're having students be at the center of the learning experience. So it really all starts with our vision and our learning model, which has 4 parts. The approach to learning I like to think of as just our philosophy. The architecture of learning I think of as our structure. How do we do it? The art of teaching, we're reinventing that as well. The teacher has a very different role in our school than at a traditional school. I'll show you what that is. And then the academic and character outcomes. And interestingly, character outcomes are equal to academic outcomes at our school. As a college counselor myself, before joining Con Lab School, I know that unhappy students can't learn. I know that depressed, overwhelmed, stressed out high school students don't learn. And so I was thrilled to find a school that treats social emotional learning on an equal plane with academic learning, and that really walks that talk with a social emotional learning emphasis in the school, weaving it into the project-based learning, and being very intentional about how we make sure that we're supporting students in social emotional learning throughout this school. So there's not enough time to go over our learning design, so I'm just highlighting something from each of these categories in my talk. So the approach to learning, I'm going to highlight the personalization and the fact that it's project-based learning. So when we think about, there's some of our teenagers. When we think about personalization, sorry, I need to go back there. The project-based learning and personalization. An example of how that works in practice at our school is students set their own goals, and those goals are personalized to them. So for instance, if you are setting a goal in your Khan Academy math, as one student did, I want to master all of 8th grade math by June of this year. That's their goal in math. And that student, though, may be 11 years old, they may be 14 years old. They work that out with their advisor. That's our word for teacher, lead advisor at our school. And they also spend about half of the day doing project-based learning, which reinforces these kind of core skills like math and reading and writing and digital literacy. So they have a lot of agency and independence to set their own goals. We're not setting those goals for them. Teachers do support them in that, but the goals are their own. In the second part, the architecture of learning, that's like where the rubber meets the road. How is the school actually set up? How's it structured? It's structured around independence groupings. So we don't have grade levels at Con Lab School. We're a one-room schoolhouse, mixed age, currently K through 8, adding high school in 2017. So our students are not segmented by grade level. They're segmented by what we call independence level. And your independence level is how independent of a learner are you? How much support do you need in setting goals, in achieving goals, and then equal to that in your social emotional learning and your self-regulation in traits like time management, goal completion, persistence, all of that. How independent are you? If you're 5, you're going to need most likely a lot more support and direction from your teacher in goal setting and goal achievement. You're just learning what a goal is, and you're checking it off on a piece of paper. And the goal isn't even necessarily written in words. It's a picture of a goal, right? Because you're 5. But if you're one of our teenage learners, you're setting all your own goals in conjunction with your lead teacher advisor and designing projects to help you achieve those goals. So that's what we mean by independence level. Also, under the architecture of learning, I want to just talk a little bit about the structure of our actual space. We just completed a design thinking exercise with our teen students. We're expanding into an adjacent suite next year as we expand our kind of upper school, middle school group. And so an outside company came in that does furniture for learning, and the students did a design thinking exercise around how do we want to use this new space? How do we learn in it? They also helped design our makerspace. Students designed our school library. Students really are at the center of everything in our school, and they have so much agency around how to use the space. That's one of the things you see and experience on a daily basis. Students decide where I work best in the space and with whom and for how long. Do I work best at a desk in the central space, or do I need to go into like a quiet breakout room? Do I need to go outside and work out there? So that's the architecture of learning. Just since I'm really out of time, what's unique to the teen population, I've really covered the independence levels, that sense of agency, and I haven't talked very much about some of our future needs, which are mentoring. I'm showing you some examples of our teens out in the world. They went to Model UN in New York over spring break. And I'm just going to skip ahead to challenges and help from the community. For our high school and our current middle schoolers, internships and mentoring is key. We're very lucky that they have adult mentors right now upstairs at Khan Academy who they work with, but we're going to need to expand that, and we'd love the community to help with that. And we welcome volunteers, we welcome input, we welcome your ideas about organizations we can partner with, and even ways that students can be meaningfully engaged in community service in our local community. We're in Mountain View. That's another key challenge that I'd love to talk to this group of people about. So thank you very much.